Hello and welcome to In Depth. I'm Tina Jha. The United States of America will soon have a separate space command that will better organize and advance the military's vast operations in space. The US Defense Department currently has 10 commands. The new Space Command will be its 11th. The Space Command is expected to improve the US military's technological advances in space. It comes amid concerns that American satellites are under threat from Russia and China. Today in In-Depth, we go into the details of what is the US Space Command, what was the need to create it, and how will the growing attention of the United States towards space is feared to trigger a Star Wars-like scenario. So as work begins to establish a new combatant command, the Pentagon in parallel is developing a legislative proposal to promote a Space Force as a 6th US military service. The Space Command will employ space capabilities and lead space operations. On 18 December 2018, US President Donald Trump ordered the creation of Space Command, a new organizational structure within the Pentagon that will have overall control of military space operations. The Space Command will be separate from Donald Trump's goal to build an entirely new branch of the military called Space Force, although it is being labeled a significant step in that direction. In an executive memorandum to Defense Secretary James Mattis, Trump ordered the establishment of the United States Space Command as a functional unified combatant command. He also directed the Defense Secretary to recommend officers for the President's nomination and Senate confirmation as Commander and Deputy Commander of the new Space Command. According to Vice President Mike Pence, the new US Command will integrate space capabilities across all branches of the military. He said it will develop space doctrine, tactics, techniques and procedures that will enable US warfighters to defend the country in this new era.
Few months back, President Trump has announced that he will have a 6th force, a special force called Space Force. Now he has announced that as a first step, he is going ahead with developing a Space Command also. If you get back to the history of a Space Command in US, between 1985 to 2002, Space Command already existed. However, subsequently, owing to the challenges thrown by terrorism of 9/11, they had diluted the Space Command and those assets were shifted to a Northern Command, which was essentially Homeland Security Command. But now again, understanding the relevance of a space and particularly the way China and Russia are making investments into a space, it is understood by the US that they need a separate command. And that's the reason now he has made an announcement of a Space Command.
It will be known as SpaceCom and will be the Pentagon's 11th combatant command, along with other well-known commands including Central Command and Europe Command. The move comes amid growing concerns that China and Russia are working on ways to disrupt, disable or even destroy US satellites. News reports suggest the Space Command would pull about 600 staff from the existing military space offices and then add at least another 1,000 over the coming years. SpaceCom is likely to begin taking form in Colorado, although no final decision has been made on a location for the new command. Besides, funding for the Space Command will be included in the budget for 2020, which will be unveiled in February. The United States had a Space Command from 1985 until 2002, but it was disbanded after the 9/11 terror attacks so that the US Northern Command could be established. The functions of the then Space Command were absorbed by the US Strategic Command. The Air Force retained its lead role in space through the Air Force Space Command. In the coming months, the United States is expected to create a separate Space Force, which is expected to assist arms of the military by strengthening communications, navigation, and providing intelligence to counter adversaries that target its satellites. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. In June 2018, US President Donald Trump formally proposed the establishment of the 6th arm of the US Armed Forces, which is the Space Force. A Space Force is a military branch that conducts space warfare. The Space Force of the US military would focus on all matters of the world, from procuring military satellites to defending US spacecraft in orbit from attacks.
The United States Space Force is a military branch that President Donald Trump announced on June 18, 2018. Announcing it, Vice President Mike Pence said it will become the sixth branch of the US military by 2020 and herald a new era of American national security in space.
As President Trump has said in his words, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space, and so we will.
Trump's announcement took many by surprise, especially in the Pentagon. Some saw it American dominance in space, and others saw it as answering the need to address the growing rivalry and presence of China and Russia in space. The Space Force is a military branch that conducts space warfare. It will focus on national security and preserving satellites and vehicles dedicated to international communications and observation.
Over the years, countries have started making investments into space, and particularly after 2007, when China conducted an anti-satellite test and blasted their own satellite, giving indication to the rest of the world that space could be militarized and weaponized also. Particularly because of that single event, space has become a cause of concern, and space security has emerged as a new area where states are looking at it from a military perspective.
The Space Force would have its own bureaucracy and command structure. According to the US administration, the Space Force would focus on persistent global surveillance for advanced missile targeting, indications, warning, targeting and tracking for defense against advanced missile threats, alternate positioning, navigation for a GPS-denied environment, global and near real-time space situational awareness, development of deterrent capability, responsive, resilient, common ground-based space support infrastructure, and highly scaled artificial intelligence-enabled global surveillance.
Concerned, space always has been a domain of politics since its inception. Because after the first satellite was launched, the USA understood that the satellite technology is one technology which will give an upper hand to the other countries. And that's the reason the investments into space technologies initially began. And over a period of time, human beings have realized that space has got wider implications for civilian usages. However, for military usages also there are implications. And particularly 1991 Gulf War demonstrated that space can be used for the purposes of reconnaissance, navigation and communication. So since then, militaries have been using it very successfully. But that amounts to militarization of a space, and normally it is not hampering any sort of a legal mechanisms.
The United States currently spends $20 billion per year on national security-related space activities. The National Intelligence Agency's space activities are not included in the Space Force proposal. Activities relevant to Space Force account for $12.5 billion of the Defense Department's $686 billion US budget proposed for 2019. According to US Vice President Pence, the administration is preparing to request $8 billion in the next 5 years for the Space Force. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The United States has been mulling the idea of a space force since the Cold War era. What started as an anti-Soviet program known as Star Wars by Ronald Reagan is now taking shape as Trump's Space Force. In this report, let's take a look at how the concept developed through the decades.
The US has been for long looking to militarize space with its Space Force program. It started 35 years ago during the Cold War with the US Star Wars program. In March 1983, then US President Ronald Reagan proposed a strategic defense initiative that would construct a space-based anti-missile system to defend the US from incoming Soviet ballistic missiles.
Let me share with you a vision of the future which offers hope. It is that we embark on a program to counter the awesome Soviet missile threat with measures that are defensive. Let us turn to the very strengths in technology that spawned our great industrial base and that have given us the quality of life we enjoy today.
Reagan allotted $2 billion for the project. The US Star Wars program is believed to have hastened the Soviet collapse as it was an expensive resource to compete against for the Soviet leadership.
As of now, generally countries agree that there should be no warfare in space. But that's an agreement. That does not mean that it will not be violated in the future. Countries have prepared for it. The Americans had a whole Star Wars or defense program, space defense initiative, which was called the Star Wars during the Reagan era. It didn't go forward very much, but they had plans of putting weapons in space. Already we have seen Chinese demonstrating the destruction of a satellite in space. The Americans also followed with showing their capability of destroying a satellite in space. So, it will change the whole way in which the world views space, and the way warfare is conducted in future could be very different from on ground warfare.
Over 2 decades later, former US President George W. Bush authorized a new space policy, setting defense as its main priority. The new policy said the US would preserve its rights, capabilities and freedom of action in space. It also said it would dissuade or deter others from either impeding those rights or developing capabilities intended to do so. In a 1999 policy paper, Senator Bob Smith too entertained the idea of a space force. The following year, a commission chaired by US politician Donald Rumsfeld suggested making a Space Corps within the Air Force. In 2017, the United States Space Corps was a bipartisan proposal by Republican Representative Mike Rogers and Democratic Representative Jim Cooper. They too proposed Space Corps as a separate service within the Department of the Air Force, with its head as a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. President Donald Trump first suggested a Space Force in March 2018. The Trump administration said it wants the establishment of a Space Force included in next year's defense policy bill. However, it needs to be passed by the US Congress before it can be implemented. Other countries have also been conceptualizing their own space forces. In August 1992, Russia created Russian Space Forces as an arm of the Russian Armed Forces. They worked with the Russian Federal Space Agency. The Russian Space Forces were dissolved in July 1997 and incorporated into the Strategic Missile Troops. They were reformed as an independent troop on 1 June 2001 under a military reorganization. By December 2011, they were replaced by the Russian Aerospace Defense Forces. China is another force to reckon with in strategizing space. In January 2007, it created an international uproar by destroying one of its own satellites in an anti-satellite missile test. As per report, in 2015, China established the People's Liberation Army Strategic Support Force. The PLA-SSF is the Cyber, Space and Electronic Warfare Service branch of China's People's Liberation Army. With more and more nations aiming to build space forces, the question is, will it trigger an arms race more catastrophic than the world has ever seen? With inputs from Leena Sharma, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for a short break on the program, but on the other side, we talk about fears of a lethal space arms race that will come up after coming of the space forces. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching In Depth. There are fears that America's Space Force will unleash a lethal space arms race between the global and regional strategic competitors. Experts have also raised fears over the use of space-based weapons that could theoretically paralyze the global economy if essential communication systems were indefinitely disabled.
US President Donald Trump's plans for a space force have highlighted what is at stake in space dominance. It has triggered fears that taking weapons into space could trigger a new arms race, with the US keen on ensuring American supremacy in space. Trump's move could antagonize US biggest rivals, China and Russia. Each have hundreds of satellites of their own, and if they see the US taking a more muscular posture, they could boost budgets to increase arsenals to shoot down or hack American satellites or spacecraft. Russia has already warned that militarization of space could be more harmful than the nuclear arms race. It said that taking weapons to space would upset strategic stability and international security.
Warfare is very different from space attacks. See, nuclear warfare would mean that you annihilate a city or you annihilate an area using an atom bomb or a hydrogen bomb, which is a fission bomb or a fusion bomb. Whereas space warfare could simply mean that you take out another country's, enemy country's satellite and you disable communication for that country as a whole, which means you can completely disable a country's economy. Today, all ATM machines work mostly using VSATs. So if you disable communication satellite for a country, you can imagine what can go wrong in the economy of a country. So that is also warfare. So nuclear warfare is slightly different from, in my opinion, from space-based warfare. Space-based warfare can be very targeted to take out specific assets, whereas the damage caused by using a nuclear bomb can be very large.
Threshold technology for space warfare is at a stage where resources may be placed in surface-based vehicles or aircraft, but in all probability, the first would be in space-based platforms. Experts feel that much like nuclear weapons, this could well be all about deterrence through threats and counter-threats, without employment of such weapons as elements of warfare. Space platforms could be employed to punch holes in missile defenses or paralyze networks. The 1967 Outer Space Treaty reserves the exploration and use of space for peaceful purposes in the common interest of humanity. But while it has no prohibitions against the militarization of space, the US and other space powers have avoided using space for military purposes.
Definitely be affected by what is happening in the global space threat scenario, and India will definitely protect itself so that our assets are secured when we require them in times of emergency. India has tremendous capabilities in rockets. India also has tremendous capabilities in missiles. India's Agni 5 missile, you can launch atom bomb with it, which is a ballistic missile. But if you direct the same missile, you can even take out space-based assets of other countries. So India has definitely both offensive and defensive capabilities. But as of now, India is averse to weaponizing space. India wants to look at space as an asset for helping the common man.
Iran and North Korea can already disrupt commercial satellite signals, while Pakistan, Israel, Japan, the United Kingdom and Sweden either have missiles that could be adapted for space applications or have developed ways of maneuvering satellites for potential use in warfare. India has also been in the race, developing, testing and operationalizing the space technology. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And that's it from us in today's edition of In Depth. We'll be back same time tomorrow with a focus on some other subject. You can also watch our episodes online on YouTube and Twitter and get back to us with your feedback and suggestions. Thanks for your valuable time.